Rocket League Game Analysis by Carolyn Boyce. The game I chose to play for this quest was Rocket League, which was released in 2015 for the PlayStation 4. I downloaded and played the game on my husband's PlayStation 5. There are two main reasons for choosing this game. The first reason being that I've only played my husband's PlayStation 5 a few times, and every time we played it, it was a car racing game. I knew if I chose a game that was related to cars, then I could manage playing the game. The second main reason for choosing Rocket League was the game had many similar components to soccer. I played soccer for over 12 years, so I knew if I played my soccer knowledge to the game, then I could hopefully succeed in playing Rocket League. I played the game 2 separate days for a total of 2 hours and 30 minutes. The first day, I had to learn how to use the controller, and I went through different training exercises to know how to play the game. The second day, I played casual competitive mode with other online gamers. I was randomly assigned the gamers, but we played through 6 levels together. Each level is a 5-minute game with the goal to see how many goals a team can score in the time frame. The team that scores the most goals when the time runs out wins the game. If the game is tied, then the game goes into overtime until someone scores. The winning team receives a trophy and tournament credits that can be applied to more customization of the cars in the game. Learning theory characteristics. One learning theory characteristic used in Rocket League is operant conditioning, and more specifically, fixed interval schedule. Operant conditioning is an idea created by Evan Pavlo, who built on B.F. Skinner's idea of creating a conditioned response based on a particular stimulus. Pavlo believes the use of consequences or rewards will modify the occurrence and achieve a behavior with a desired outcome. In Rocket League, the desired behavior is to score a goal, and the desired outcome is to have the most goals at the end of the time. The fixed interval schedule is the type of reward schedule that provides a reward after a fixed amount of time has passed. Each casual competitive game in Rocket League has a fixed time that the players can see when the game starts. The clock counts down as the game proceeds and will play specific sounds when there are 30 seconds left in the game. The crowd will continue to count down when there are 10 seconds left in the game. The fixed interval schedule lets the players know that they need to have the most goals by the end of the game, and the players are aware of how much time they have left until the game ends. The reward is given to the winning team at the end of the game. If there was a limited time, then the player would not be motivated to score goals. The time limit allows both teams to score many goals. Throughout my time playing, most of the games ended with both teams having at least 2 to 3 points. Another learning theory characteristic used in Rocket League is distributive practice. Distributive practice is space between the times the game is played to help retain information. Distributive practice is important for Rocket League because the player would become fatigued and less efficient if the game lasted for long periods of time. My fingers were tired and I was stressed after the few short minutes of each game, but I felt that I performed my best with the short games. After each game, a replay is shown so the players can rewatch the game and learn from their mistakes. Rewatching the game helped me improve in each level I played and provided the break I needed in the game. Once the break was over, I was recharged and ready to play again. The final learning theory characteristic used in Rocket League is cognitive apprenticeship. This idea of cognitive apprenticeship is that the person and the environment cannot be separated, but each part is mutually constructed as a whole. When this idea is applied to a video game, a person is operating a character and learning the rules the character lives in by playing the game. The environment of the game teaches the player how to behave and the important actions and activities that bring value within the gaming environment. The player in Rocket League is a car, and as the player learns to drive the car, the player will learn important actions that can help them score goals in the game. After playing the first few levels of Rocket League, I knew which actions to make in order to score goals. The more a person plays the game, the stronger they will become in using the actions they learned to score goals. Motivational characteristics. The motivational characteristics used in Rocket League are based on the ACRS Model, which stands for Attention, Relevance, Confidence, and Satisfaction. John M. Keller created the ACRS Model after an extensive review of motivational literature. He identified 4 shared attributes by clustering motivational concepts together. The 4 attributes are attention, relevance, confidence, and satisfaction, which became the ACRS Model. The first attribute of the ACRS Model is attention. When motivating a person, the issue becomes how to stimulate and then sustain the person's attention. In Rocket League, the game stimulates and then sustains the player's attention in many ways. One way the attention of the player is sustained is the competition in each level of the game. The player is determined to win the game by scoring more goals than its opponents, as well as earn trophies by completing specific challenges. After each game, the player has the option to rematch, which keeps the player's attention and motivates them to keep playing. The second attribute, relevance, refers to the people's feelings or perceptions of attraction toward a desired outcome. A person is motivated to keep playing a game when they understand and believe in the desired outcome. The first few times I played Rocket League, I lost the game, but I was determined to keep playing until I won the game. I knew the desired outcome would be worth the time it took to win the game. When I won the game, I received a trophy, but it also felt good knowing that I had beat my opponents. The third attribute, confidence, refers generally to people's expectancies for success in the various parts of their lives. People hold expectancy-related beliefs regarding the degree to which they can predict and even control the outcomes of their behaviors, and these beliefs can boost or lower people's confidence. Rocket League will partner players with different skill levels to help boost confidence. According to party skill and matching, when matching players for a game, Rocket League will weigh the average of all players and then skew the average toward the highest ranked player in the party. The creators discovered the teams with a wider spread between higher and lower ranked players will tend to win games more often than players with the same skill level. Rocket League is helping boost confidence in their gamers by helping them win games. Knowing that Rocket League is setting me up for success when I play the game will boost my confidence and motivate me to play the game more often. In my experience of Rocket League, I had very low skills in the game, so I was partnered with someone who would score goals and carry the team. Winning the games boosted my confidence and kept me playing the game even if I was not the one scoring the goals. The final attribute of the ACRS model, satisfaction, refers to the feeling of mastery from the pleasure of succeeding at a task that was meaningful and challenging. Satisfaction will result when the first 3 components of the ACRS model are met by people having a certain amount of novelty, they feel competent, they can build knowledge and skills in areas of personal interest and importance, and they experience a degree of control or autonomy. Rocket League provides many challenges, but as players meet the challenges, they are rewarded with trophies and awards that will help them as they continue through the game. As a player becomes more experienced in the game, they will feel a higher level of satisfaction when they succeed at more challenging levels. I played 6 rounds of casual competition, and I feel a higher level of satisfaction when my team won a round as the levels became more challenging. ACRS model was exemplified through the Rocket League video game with its motivational characteristics, making the game hard to put game content. 2 skills being taught in the game content of Rocket League are thinking like your opponent and the higher order skill of grabbing and releasing leadership. Thinking like your opponent is a skill that helps someone study or learn what their opponent may be thinking in a specific situation or scenario. Rocket League shows replays after every goal is scored, so all players in the match can view how the goal was scored. The replays help the players who were scored on see how their opponent scored the goal and what they could do differently to defend their goal. When players in Rocket League are thinking like their opponent, they can avoid being scored on and know ways to best attack their opponents in order to score goals on them. If this skill is obtained, the players who think like their opponents will be more likely to win matches. The higher order skill of grabbing and releasing leadership is understanding that leadership is not a position, but a task. The player will simply complete a task that needs to be accomplished instead of focusing on the leader position. In Rocket League, players are assigned different teams and work with many different players. During some matches, a player may be scoring most of the goals and be considered a higher skilled player. But in other matches, the same player may be supporting their teammates and be considered a less skilled player. Each player needs to realize that they may play with players who are better than them in some matches and less skilled than them in other matches. Rocket League averages the player skills together to assign teams so the same players will not be the leader each game. The averaging of players supports the fairness of games and provides challenges for everyone playing. If each player is focused on the task of winning and not focused on trying to be the leader, then the players have mastered the grabbing and releasing leadership higher order skill. The game content supported the skills needed to master Rocket League. Domains of learning and associated instructional and gamification techniques. Declarative knowledge was one type of knowledge used in Rocket League. A piece of information that can be learned only through memorization is declarative knowledge. When two or more items are linked through memorization, then declarative knowledge is used. In order to play Rocket League on the PlayStation 5, the player has to memorize which buttons on the console represent the different controls of the car. The best way to memorize the controls is through repetition. After downloading the game, the player first completes a training where each button on the console is introduced, and the player repeatedly hits the buttons to watch the car complete the task the buttons represent. The player will quickly learn the important buttons on the console by repeating the task many times. After a few matches played, the player will not have to think about each button on the console because they will have memorized the buttons while playing the game. Another declarative knowledge skill used in Rocket League is replayability. Each match of Rocket League is similar, therefore the player replays the game again and again. The player will play against different opponents, but the main parts of the game are the same. The more a player continues to play the game, the stronger the player will become, since they use the same basic skills in every match. Another type of knowledge used in Rocket League is experiencing the concepts under conceptual knowledge. The player is immersed in a match to learn how to fully play Rocket League. The player initially goes through training to learn the basic skills, but the player does not play an opponent until they are immersed into the first match. The immersive experience allows the player to experience a concept firsthand and can be used to provide both examples and non-examples of the concept in action. I learned very fast how to defend the goal and how to score a goal by being immersed in the game. If immersion did not take place in the game, then I may have learned better techniques, but I would not know how to apply them in the match setting. Overall, the knowledge used in Rocket League provided the player with the skills needed to not only accomplish the task of the game, but also succeed in the game.